Jackie, how are you?
Alright.
Well,
Alright, I guess.
last time we talked was over Cass. Had a good interview then. And I think we got a lot of attention because people need to know what's going on. Tell me what's happened to you now.
I just had a baby.
Right.
Every day was Memorial Hospital, and she's born on Friday 13th. Well, it was on the 13th.
Right.
And I guess everything come out alright. She's 7'3", healthy. She's has a lot of hair and stuff. And
so you got to see her.
yeah, I've got to be up with her till 2 days ago. Then they told me I had to leave from the hospital over there.
Now, who was they?
The CPS worker from Marlington. She's a new woman down there. Catherine Malcolm.
Oh, okay.
She come in over there and said that she was going to take the baby back from me, or take the baby from me, because of my previous kids.
They had taken your previous kids. But that's been, what, 2 or 3 years ago? 4 years ago?
It's almost been 3, yeah.
And you had 3 other kids? What was her reason for that?
She really didn't have one. I mean,
did she show you any paperwork or anything?
no, she said she went through my paperwork from down there.
Talking about when you had the baby, before you had the baby.
Yeah, she's talking about the previous kid. She said she went through the records, and I told her that they didn't have much on that, records. She said that it showed they diagnosed me with schizophrenic and all this stuff, and I said they didn't diagnose me with nothing. There's all kind of things. She didn't have much when she come.
So she didn't show you any paperwork at all?
No. She didn't show me nothing.
Did she ever show you a warrant for seizing the baby?
No. So
you're saying she didn't even have a warrant?
Nope.
She just took the baby?
Yep, so she took the baby. Yeah.
Now, when they took the baby, did they have police there?
No.
So how did they go about taking the baby? You wouldn't know, I don't guess, because you were inside a room, right?
Yeah.
You were still in the hospital.
Yeah, I was still in the hospital at this time.
So the baby just essentially disappears.
Yeah, like, well, they let the baby stay in the room with me while they talked and did whatever they done out in front of their hospital out there.
Who all was with her?
The nurses was up on that wing and stuff. The women from, I don't know, probably the office down there, they come up with her too.
Right. But they never showed you a warrant to take that baby.
No. And she told me if I didn't sign the papers that they didn't have him on right at the moment to take the baby, but I could take care of her while she was in the hospital, but after she was released, that they'd find, I guess, whatever, they try to get with other kids, is what she told me. It's one of those.
They would put a newborn with some family that already had kids.
Yeah, the foster parents that got my other ones, is what she said.
So that would have been 4 kids in that family.
Yes.
But you don't even know who that family is, right?
No, when they took him, they didn't tell me nothing.
They wouldn't tell you who that family was, so you didn't know who they might have been.
No.
Giving it to. Is this a little girl, little boy, little girl?
Yeah.
I'm trying to get my mind wrapped around it. It's early in the morning.
Oh, I know.
But why would they take your child without any proof that they had a right to do it?
I don't know. I guess they're just going by the old records. I mean, I don't.
Well, yeah, going by the old records, but this has been 2 or 3 years ago.
I know.
Did they think maybe you hadn't changed?
No, some people. That's what I kind of thought, but I guess not.
Had they warned you any time prior to that if you got pregnant they would take the baby?
No, they didn't.
So you had no warning whatsoever.
No.
So essentially you were trying to start over.
Well, I mean, things happen. I'm not going to deny her.
I know what you're talking about.
You know what I mean? I didn't get my tubes tied, so it won't be.
Right.
But it's.
I'm just curious. Did they send you a bill for the baby?
Not yet.
Not yet. I sure would like to see that bill.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be interesting, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would.
Davis Memorial is going to be looking for their money. I wonder if CPS is going to pay for it.
I don't know.
Well, now, when they took the baby, did they wanted you to sign something?
Yeah, she wanted me to sign a paper. You know, pretty much sign your rights over. And now I'm not doing that. I mean, I didn't do it with they didn't ask me to sign rights to the other kids.
Right, and so they took them anyway.
They took them anyway, so.
So what do they think you need to sign the paper for?
I don't know. They've done it like I said.
I've got some paperwork I want to give you. I forgot to bring it in. That explains what you should be alert to whenever CPS comes. One of the things that they try to do is to get you to sign something.
Yeah.
And what you're telling me is that signing didn't do you a lick of good.
No.
So why would you have signed it the second time? You didn't sign it the first time, right?
No, I didn't.
So they offer you this paper. What do they say? I'm trying to see if they're telling you the truth. What did they tell you? If you signed that paper, what did they say to you?
No, she really wouldn't say anything.
So why would you have signed it?
She's told me that she is here to help me, and I don't try to get mean or nasty with the people, but I said I dealt with you people for 2 years and you didn't help me do nothing, and they didn't. Still to this day, they still ain't helped me do anything.
So Jackie, when would you say is the last time you, just sort of a guess, and not a date in mind, but when would have been the last time that you had any contact with CPS?
The last court date that they took the kids.
So that was 2 or 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Do you remember if they said anything in the paperwork? Do you still have your paperwork?
Yeah.
Do you remember if they said there was anything in the paperwork that would say that if you were to have another baby, that they would take it too?
No, there was nothing in there. So
as far as you know, there's not a thing?
No. It didn't have no, legal rights.
So in other words, this is going to sound gross, they might as well just sterilize you because they weren't fixing on you having any more kids, at least keeping them.
Yeah, you're right.
And so if you were to get pregnant again, they'd do the same thing.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you a little bit about this. Did they give you they gave you blood tests and so forth whenever they you had the baby?
Mm-hmm.
Did they tell you that there was any testing for drugs or anything?
They say Suboxone was in there, which I don't.
Suboxone?
Yeah.
Well, Suboxone is a withdrawal drug for
to get you off stuff, yeah.
Oxy.
Mm-hmm.
And they said you had you tested positive for.
So it was some Subutex or
Suboxone.
Yes, that's.
Okay, well, you would have had to have a. Did you have a prescription for Suboxone?
Well, I used to get one, and I don't anymore. But I told him I couldn't afford it.
Here, honey.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to wake up the baby.
She's my friend. Help me.
Yeah, I know her.
Yeah.
But I forgot her first name.
Tara.
Yeah, Tara.
Yes.
Didn't mean to wake the baby up.
No, she was out.
No. So they said you tested positive for Suboxone.
Mm-hmm.
And you wouldn't have had a prescription for Suboxone. And you had to have a prescription for Suboxone?
Yeah.
Okay. But they never actually showed you any paperwork?
No.
Did they tell you at any time that before that they were going to test you for Suboxone?
They said they was going to test me for drugs, like I guess where the baby come, and you know they didn't know anything. They said they'd test for any kind of drugs.
Yeah, they told you that ahead of time.
Yeah, the hospital did.
That, and they told him the baby didn't start withdrawing until 4 days later.
Yeah, 4 days later. That's what they tried to tell me yesterday on the phone. I was just wondering, like, when they do them, don't they show how much, like, would have been in your system
Yeah,
or
you
something?
have a right. You have a right to know how much is in the system. Well, but furthermore, if they were going to test you for Suboxone or for drugs, knowing that you had a history of drugs, it looks like they would have had to have a search warrant to do that.
Yeah. Well, see, all my other kids, I didn't have no. I mean, I passed all drug tests when I had them and stuff. I had done Suboxone before because I was on pain medicine before my back and stuff, and
Right.
it's hard to get off that stuff. So
Yeah.
when I went through the last time, I had prescriptions and stuff. So, but that stuff's so expensive nowadays. It's like God.
So they didn't really know that you didn't have a prescription
Yeah, they didn't
for Suboxone.
ask that. You know, the CPS worker come in later and ask all that stuff.
Wait a minute. After they'd taken the baby?
Yeah, like she said, she needed to know what really is going on so we can. So they could doctor, you know, the baby and stuff. And I'm thinking, I don't know. I didn't know what to think.
Did they tell you? Did the baby go through withdrawal?
She said that it started like 1 o'clock the other night, like not last night, but the night before. So it'd been on like almost the 4th night.
Yeah.
They started on. They said I don't know what kind they give it or whatever they do, but
I don't know anything about Suboxone.
yeah.
Other than it's supposed to be they actually prescribe it to get you off a heavier.
That's what she said. She said their company helps pay for people to get on that stuff.
Who does?
The CPS said that their programs help pay people to go through to get on it or whatever.
Right. I knew that. They're involved in that.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay. They take the baby. They gave you a chance to say goodbye to it.
Yeah. They told me I'd come back over, like I said, through the day, but I can't be there through the night with it.
So the baby's still there.
I'm gonna go over today, like I said, and
That's why we met so early.
yeah, be with
Which
her.
is all right.
Be with her, and I don't. Only what I can do is day by day. She told me I had to go to court in 2 weeks.
Well, it's my understanding. This is just information, but it's my understanding they have to give you a court date very soon. In fact, I think you ought to see a lawyer and you ought to ask them just how many days. That was an emergency taking. They didn't appear to have any judicial authority to do, and we want to make sure that they had the right to take the baby, you know, and they can take a baby in emergency circumstances, but they had to give you a hearing date.
Yeah, she told me it was in 2 weeks, but she didn't say what date or nothing like that.
2 weeks doesn't sound right to me. I thought it was like 5 days or so.
Gee,
Have you got a lawyer you can contact?
well, we called one. I called J.L. Clifton down there, and he told us it'd probably be the same thing we went through before. Improvement period and this and that, like we did before. And like I said, well, you're telling me pretty much I won't have no hope then.
So you went through an improvement period before.
Oh yeah.
Now, if I remember correctly, you said that you never could meet their standards.
No.
In other words, you never could improve enough.
No. We went 6 months improving.
Right.
And then then they come and got them, and it went 2 years after that when we we never done good enough. And now my husband don't even want to look at the baby, which I mean, I see his point of view too. He don't even want to go around it or get attached to it.
Right.
Or
He don't want to bond with it.
Yeah, because if they're going to do this, he just...
Yeah.
I said, well, you know, I don't either, but we got to do something. I mean, just can't, you know, ignore her. But
right.
It's not the baby's fault. She wasn't brought here for, you know, I don't know. Like he said, we never done good enough before.
Right.
Well,
this is one of the things that I complain about. You see, they've got certain people who provide instruction, and these people keep as long as you are, quote, improving, they get paid.
Yeah.
They get more business. So it's in their best interest. I got in a discussion with a lawyer the other day, yesterday in fact. It's in their best interest for you never to improve enough, because once you improve, once you get cured, they're out of there.
Yeah.
And I'm really upset, and I'm trying to inject this in our interviews. I think I did it last time. There are people who are getting paid if you fail.
Yeah.
They don't get paid if you succeed.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying, they're saying I'm such a bad person, can't be around people, can't pretty much be around kids, or, well, why don't they just pay me to sit at home and, you know what I mean? Like, I don't get it. I work all the time, you know. I worked up till I'm pretty much at her, all my kids. And it's, you know, since I'm a bad person in this world, I mean, I've never done anything that bad, I don't think.
One of the things that I'm trying to figure out is the role that these people who call themselves supervisors, that monitor your visitation.
Yeah.
Now these people own a company, and in this company, they get paid to supervise your visitation, which I don't have any problem with. They're getting paid to visit. What I have a problem with is these same people go to the MDT meetings, and they shouldn't have any influence whatsoever. No. For example, yesterday or the day before, there was a juvenile hearing, and there was a lady who works for this one company, and she sat in on that hearing before the judge. All the rest of us were thrown out. And I asked the lawyer, I said, well, why are you kicking us out? What's she doing in there? You see, she was there, this is my personal belief, she was there to ensure that the judge did the right thing. And that burns me up.
Yeah.
It burns me up. And I'll just tell you the name. It was Davina Agee.
Oh,
she was a former CPS worker.
Yeah, she didn't like us.
She shouldn't be sitting in on those meetings.
And she didn't like us. And I told us CPS worker now, I mean, I can't take it out on her, but
right.
She come and took my baby now.
I don't even know this lady you're talking about now.
But I said the former one, Jimmy Lane and all them, they had it against me more so. I mean, they just didn't like us.
Right.
I mean, I had that feeling. And she said smart remarks to me. Said, you can do whatever to me now. I said, I'm not taking it out on you. I said, you don't know what I've had to go through with these people.
Right.
I mean,
well, they got rid of Jimmy Lane.
Yeah, she took his places.
That's the one good thing that happened, because I'd heard that he was a criminal himself.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I don't know why they ever hire people like that.
Yeah, that's what we heard. I figured that out whenever I don't know, we might have gotten
hopefully we got a better person, but I don't know. That you said his name is Kathy Malcolm? Mm-hmm. Is this a younger woman?
Yeah, she's a younger woman. She said she's from the lower end of the county, so I don't know. I've never seen her before, I mean, like I said.
And she's a CPS worker.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have to make some inquiries and see what's going on there. So at this point, you can go over and visit your baby.
Yeah.
Would anybody be supervising your visit?
Yeah, she said I had to leave the door open.
Do you have to tell them when you're going to see the baby? Or you got to announce it to somebody in the hospital
I gotta tell the nurse, yeah. Tell the nurse, and like I said, she's got her own room still. I can be in the room, but I have to have the door open, they said.
And did they advise you of your rights in any way?
No, none.
Or they're supposed to read some sort of thing that says you have the right to remain silent and all that stuff? No. Did they try to get you to talk?
They tried to. No, I mean, like, they really didn't ask me no questions.
You've got pretty savvy about this, haven't you? Yeah. Well, you can see the baby, and do you have, did they give you a paper saying that when your hearing date would be?
No.
Well, how do you know when your hearing date is?
She told me to get in touch with her in 2 to 3 days.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I thought they were supposed to get in touch with you.
That's what I...
Don't they know that it's not easy to get in touch with you?
That's what I told her.
So if you weren't to get in touch with her, because I'm going to bet that after she sees this on YouTube, that she's going to decide that she needs to contact you. And I hope she does. Because I'm going to tell you why. I think these people are violating our civil rights.
Yeah.
You got a right to have a child.
Mm-hmm.
You got a right to have a baby. And I think they're violating the civil rights. And I'm hoping that we can get enough people that's got the guts to speak out, like Jackie Hickson does. The guts to speak out and to call a spade a spade. There's a lot of women in this, a lot of families in this county that are going through the same hell you're going through. But what they do is they keep it all secret.
Yeah, I know.
When we go to that courthouse, we get chased out. No reporters, nobody to do it. It's because you have the courage to speak out. And yeah. I'm proud of you for doing that. So, you're to wait on her to call you. How many days has this been?
2 days.
Just 2 days.
Because I can't hardly drive. I had a C-section with the baby.
Right. I
have a clutch. And like when they wanted me to find a ride home, I couldn't make phone calls out of the room, couldn't do anything. It's like, so like I said, my husband don't know what to think right now. He don't, like I said, he don't want to bond with the baby, which I see his point. He come over and seen her and stuff, and I don't know, he just had this feeling, he said. But it's just, like I said, I got a friend today's going to drive me, but it's awful that they put you out like this. I don't know. Couldn't even hardly walk or anything.
Yeah. Now, you also told me on the phone that when they took the baby, they didn't even offer you any transportation whatsoever.
No.
You just had a C-section.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't offer you any transportation whatsoever.
No.
How'd they think you would get home?
That's what and then she said, well, I'm going to the snowshoe line, you know, the cutoff.
Wait a minute. Kathy Malcolm said this?
Yes. She said I was going to the snowshoe line.
She could have got paid for bringing you home.
Yeah.
What's with these people? It doesn't sound to me, she said she was going to help you. That don't sound to me like she's helping you.
No, she didn't help me. That's what I said. They don't help you.
So when they tell you they want you to sign something so they can help you, you know they're lying, don't you?
Yep. Yeah, I do.
So she would take you as far as the snowshoe line.
Yep.
And then she'd drop you off. Wonder why snowshoe? Wonder why she couldn't drive on across the mountain. It's what, 10 miles or so? It's not very far.
No.
Well, I guess being snowshoe line.
She said she didn't know the routes around, because she kept asking me where I lived at.
But she said she was from the lower end of the county. She must not have been here very long.
And that's what I said, I've lived at the same place for 10 years.
Yeah.
Because she asked me where I lived.
Right.
And
well, I didn't have any trouble getting here.
No.
I drove straight to it. I did almost miss the driveway, but that was it. And I looked up here and saw the trailer park.
Yeah.
So she was, this big helper of yours was going to Well, it would drive you as far as the snowshoe line.
Yep.
She couldn't drive you home.
No.
Because if she got to the snow, I don't know what she meant the snowshoe line, whether she meant the top of Cheat or a snowshoe, I guess snowshoe.
Yeah, be right.
She could have gone to the top of Cheat and just been within a few miles of your place.
Yeah.
Now let's just suppose something. Let's suppose you would have been allowed to take the baby home. How would you got that baby home? Your husband come and
yeah,
get it?
he would have come. He would have thought everything been okay. I know that's what a lot why he didn't come. Because that woman called.
Now, what's your husband's name? First name?
Michael Hickson.
Oh, okay.
He called. See, this woman called his mother early in the morning and wanted me to have the call before she come over there. Too.
Huh?
I didn't tell you about this.
Yeah.
She called his mother, my mother-in-law.
This is Kathy Malcolm called.
Yes, she called Kathy Hickson and told him that for me to call her. And then she ended up over at the hospital like at 4 o'clock or something.
So she knew early enough to have gotten a seizure warrant.
Yep.
She could have gone to a judge and got the warrant.
Yep. Because it was on Monday morning, huh?
And the baby had been born?
It was born Saturday, like the 13th.
Okay, so she had time to do this. She just didn't bother. Just take your baby.
Yeah. Because she said she went through her records and there was enough to take the kids.
The records were 2 or 3 years old.
And, yeah, that, and I didn't see anything where they was enough to take the kids last time, but...
Yeah, you dispute that, don't you?
Yeah. I'm still against it.
You still would like to have the babies back.
Yeah, I would. And like to have them back and like to know what we did so wrong.
Right. You have a right to know. You have a right to, even a dog, whenever a dog does something,
that's
you
why
got
they
at least...
treat you, I think, sometimes.
Yeah. You got a right to know, even the dog's got a right to know what he did wrong.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
This is terrible. Well, now, as far as your rights, I got this paperwork and it's just Googled stuff, but boy, it's really good. It tells you what to do when CPS comes knocking on your door. There are some things to do. One of the things to do is to have one of these things right here.
That's what I said.
Set it up somewhere.
I got one. I'm gonna take.
Put her somewhere where they can't see it. Of course, the lens has got to see something. Do that. Now they'll probably decide not to do it if they. Probably shouldn't have said this on camera, but I'm just telling you what to do. I'm hoping everybody grab those phones, grab this stuff, recorders, anything, put it down and get them. Record their telephone calls.
Yeah. Well, see, that hospital, that's what I was telling Tara. They record everything that goes through that hospital.
Everybody else does it.
Yeah.
Everybody else does it. Why shouldn't we?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's different.
Well, I want to follow up with what we've discussed, so please keep my phone number handy and call me, and we'll see where we go to on this.
I will.
I'm hoping we'll have some more people get courage to speak up. I know there's a lot of people.
Oh, yeah. And there's been a lot more issues since.
Oh yeah, yours is just one issue, and the reason I decided to come so quickly was because when it comes to taking a newborn baby, you know what's the next thing they're going to do? They're going to start taking the baby before it's even born.
Oh yeah.
You had a cesarean section. They could have just go ahead. If they could have known about that, they could have just taken it before.
I've been probably the vet. I mean, like I told Tara, it's hard to go back and see a baby and you're not going to be able to hold her. I mean,
oh, it's terrible.
They don't know how hard.
And I wonder if this Kathy Malcolm even has any children.
She looks young. I don't know.
I think they need to get people who've had children.
Yeah.
They know what
and
it's
show
like
them how it feels. I mean, it's.
Yeah, show them what it's like to be a mama. We're living in a bad world today that doesn't care about families.
No.
And what's going to happen to the children?
I know.
Are they going to grow up to be criminals?
That's what I say. That a lot of these people do it. These foster parents get good money to take care of these kids too.
Oh, they're getting good money. I just haven't figured it out yet, but they're getting excellent pay for it.
So,
one of the things that they do is